Welcome, friends, men and women and children.
Hopefully not children.
Welcome to Interactive Friction. I am host one, Brandon Carey. Joining me is host one, Sam Callahan.
Oh, yes. Number one and number one. So if you caught us last time, we're finding out what's behind
We're
door
both
number
pissed.
one!
We're both taking the piss out of this game.
Taking the number one out of this game.
Exactly.
Alright, so it turns out that it wasn't
Because
Lisa.
this game is truly number two.
So this is the second time that it hasn't been Lisa?
Yeah.
Also, I should
yeah.
watch this because this is like
That makes
really
twice
good,
now.
Like, this is really good.
No,
First
I
time
just
saw
called this game number two, but it's actually really fun.
I gotta admit,
Like,
this is one of like the better moments of the entire game.
Yes, it is.
Because Voss is so creepy that it makes me uncomfortable.
Although it is almost not funny how much they cockblock you in this early part of the game by not once but twice saying it's not her.
Yeah, that throws off a little bit, but just like the way that Voss talks, like he sounds like he's way too into this.
That actor really had fun with that role.
Yep.
That is a guy who enjoyed that particular gig. And to be fair, that is the kind of a lot of actors just love playing villain roles because villains always get the best lines.
Yep.
Period. In most media, villains always get the best lines. I mean, all actors love those monologues because they're really
That's the end of
fun.
that. And I believe it just restarts. Fuck you, Tiger. And you can't get inside that cage. I've tried. And there's where it was filmed. Hey, guy. My guy. And
I call shotgun.
Hey. Alright, so...
Oh, right, do we actually end up rescuing her by the end of this mission? Yes, we do.
Oh, right, this is this part. This is a great cutscene.
Yeah.
I don't remember this music playing over it, though.
We'll give you that ink.
I remember I can't hear anything, so I can't comment one way or the other on that.
It's like soft piano music, which I don't remember. But whatever.
My sister give you that ink? Huh?
Oh, and this is where he starts questioning you about your tattoo.
You think that makes you
See, I like this line. Like, you think you have a tattoo and now you're one of us? Really, dude?
Like, he's
really?
just the one who's, like, seeing through the veil and going, like, look, you're a fucking teenage trust fund kid. You
And
are
he's
not a
sort of-
warrior.
And he is certifiably insane and the smartest man in this entire island.
You're angry.
God, just everything about Voss, from the voice actor to the lines, just like the way he understands the character and no one else does.
Yeah. Like, he is easily the most insane person in the entire island, but he's the only one that knows what's going on here.
I would not be surprised if that was that deeper meaning that the developer was talking about when he got angry that people didn't get it. It's the idea that Voss is so insane that he has the most clarity about what's going on.
He's like the Joker, right? Like, he has magical fourth wall breaking powers because of his insanity.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he gets it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else seems to have deluded themselves into thinking that Jason's some kind of hero, and he's like, to be fair, in video game, you are the hero because, you know, by virtue of being the player, you're winning. But,
Yeah.
like, Voss is the only one that understands is, like, this is not something that's supposed to be able to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think it's the first mention of Citra during that last line.
Yeah.
Jason.
And I do like how Voss has some sort of admiration for the player character in a weird sense.
Yeah.
You want to die.
But not in, like, the weird cocky way that most villains do, where he's like, it's pretty crazy you got this far. He's just kind of like, wow, you're fucking insane, aren't you? It's like, coming from
Like,
you?
yeah.
Really?
To be fair,
Also, I like how
He's
they
right.
tie up your brother and then proceed to take him away anyway.
yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, if you think about what Jason does, he is insane.
Yeah, he's supposed to say not everybody, probably. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure of that.
He just happens to channel his insanity in a way that's a bit less destructive, but still very destructive.
Please, I'm coming.
I mean, right now, he's channeling his insanity towards more good purposes, but towards the end of the game, he's just a complete and utter dick. Irredeemable bastard.
I forgot, this is actually like a really good scripted sequence of the game.
Yeah. You have to shoot the valves to open
Shit!
the
Oh,
water.
I'm on fire. Oh god. There's fire everywhere.
You gotta shoot the valves to drop the water on the
You
fire.
gotta shoot the Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
There's fire everywhere.
Oh shit. Fuck. Alright.
I'm not lying when I say that Voss is the best character in this game. Like,
Find me someone who would fucking disagree with that, and I would say they're wrong. I don't think there's anyone in the world who says that Voss isn't the best.
like he's pretty much the only character in this game that I can say I truly liked. Like, except maybe except the Doctor, but he isn't really much of a character. He's more of a plot device.
He's also just like, even if you like him or not like him, he's the only character interesting enough to be talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably argue for talking about Jason as a factor of the player character, but that's not about the character. That's
And I
about how the
guess
player
Jason's
character's character.
arc, like if you like write it out as just like a play-by-play of his arc, it is somewhat interesting, but it's just executed so terribly.
Well, I think the idea of Jason is more interesting as the player character as Jason rather than the character of Jason himself. Is a more interesting discussion.
I guess.
When you get the idea of talking about how the player becomes the character.
This is kind of like a meta commentary of like you are apparently supposed to be a hero, but look at you. You're just some kid sitting in a fucking chair playing video games.
And that's kind of like where the game breaks over itself, is when you have non-hero characters being heroes, and it's like, yeah, but like realistically speaking, it's like a 1 in a million shot he'd actually get this far.
Yeah. Like,
you know, most likely the first guy he found would just shoot him in the neck and he'd die.
Yeah, like Jason should have died like a billion times over at this point.
That's just kind of
like
a weird thing
I
to
would
do.
almost like a game that commented on your character's extraordinary level of luck, and like that's being like his superpower.
There has to have been a game at some point that's done that.
It's like your character survives a lot of lucky breaks, and that's exactly why he's so good. Is that he is capable of just getting extremely lucky all the time.
Also, if I remember correctly, there have been a couple of games that do stuff like this, but then at the very end, they're just like, well, in the end, like, you just got lucky. Like, not saying that is a power so much as, like, a story.
It's like a thing
person,
that happened.
Like a villain just calling you out, just saying, like, there's no way you should have made it this far.
Oh man, and this scene really did not endear me to Lisa at all. Because I think she spends this whole driving section just bitching. Although, to be fair,
she was tied to a chair in a burning building.
If I was in this exact situation, that is exactly what I would be doing. Oh, it's weird, like, being something in real life and being that exact same thing in a movie, you get two entirely different reactions, like...
Yeah.
Because again, in real life, I would be Lisa right now. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? This is crazy.
I think it's also weirdly opposed, and I think the reason it stands out is because Lisa's acting like Jason should have acted this whole time.
Yeah.
And yet Jason's just somehow this badass hero all of a sudden. It's like he didn't have enough growth as far
Or yeah,
as...
it's like that line. What are you doing? You're shooting at them. It's like...
It's like, yeah,
and on some level, because we play a lot of video games, we're just kind of used to intuitively, this is a turret section, deal with it.
Yeah, it's just like the story almost feels like it'd be better as a movie because the gameplay is at odds with the tone that it should have had.
Because this exact same scene, we play this scene like a billion times in games. This is the turret section.
Yep.
But in real life, if something like this happened, you wouldn't instinctively get a grenade launcher and shoot everything.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like
I mean,
Lisa
you might,
and then him just like sitting there, you know, going like, I don't know if I want to shoot these
might,
guys.
but then at the end you feel terrible.
I think the thing is,
because you just killed a billion guys with a grenade launcher.
It wouldn't be shooting you like 50 cars. If this was like a real scene, you'd probably be hiding in the back, trying not to get shot, and like ducking and covering.
And you'd probably be
shoot
like
the last
away
second.
from, like 3 cars at the most.
And you know, you'd shoot it like the last second, and then the guys would explode, and there would just be like guts everywhere, and it would just be the most terrifying thing you've ever seen in your life.
In a movie, at the most,
also, this wouldn't happen. You would just be like, yeah, let's break glass with my fucking hand and just shoot out it.
I think, did he shoot the glass or did he break it with his hand?
I think he shot it once and then busted it with his arm. I have to look back to the footage. God.
You know what, fun fact, in movies, when they do breaking glass, it's just crystallized sugar.
Really?
Yeah, that's how they make it safe, it's not actually glass, it's crystallized sugar.
Interesting.
So if it ends up landing in your mouth or anything, you can just eat it and you're fine.
Okay, so. What's the other thing I was thinking? Yeah, it reminds me, speaking of car glass, it reminds me of that scene from The Walking Dead Season 1, where, what is the guy's name? It's the pizza driver guy.
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn, who, like, takes that little piece out of a car battery or whatever and just throws it. And somebody actually, I was watching a Let's Play where they explained the science behind it, where it's like if you use such a small object with such a high velocity, that it'll hit it with that much force, so much force it'll just break the glass.
That's why bullets work, because they're small objects, but they're going at such a high speed that it's okay. They'll do a lot of damage.
Interesting thought. Oh, Grant's dead.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Lisa's weird because she acts more naturally, but at the same time...
She acts naturally, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that she's just so opposed to the player character.
Yeah, the problem with Lisa is that she acts naturally, and that's the issue, is that...
that she's actually fit for that role, which is weird.
Yeah.
And that Jason's just like this badass super soldier.
To comment on, isn't it?
Is what?
This is a bizarre game's plot to comment on, because it does a lot of interesting things, but at the same time, they all seem to go against each other.
It's such a weird thing to talk about. Just when you take a step back, like, I didn't even do this the first time I played it. But,
yeah.
Until, like, the very end, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, man, there's some fucking issues with this game.
Yeah, it's like, the issue is that your companions act like normal human beings would, and that's the issue, is because they're not normal human beings, they're video game characters.
Oh, man. This is getting weird. Excuse the weapon wheel stuff, I'm just...
And because she's acting like a human being would, when you're trying to be a video game protagonist, that's kind of annoying. and it legitimately should not be.
Yeah, I think it just also, like, highlights how weird his character is when
Am I
put next to her.
thinking too much about this?
Kind of, but that's the point. Like, I think just an easy way to put it would be that sitting alone, like, if you just, show Jason, it'd be like, alright, whatever. He's crazy. But then when you put him next to a character like Lisa, who is so grounded in reality, he just looks that much more insane by comparison.
Yeah. Because you actually, like, if you look at her, she is the best, the least asshole of your group.
Yeah. Because, man,
it's
full of assholes.
She actually does, like, things in her spare time that you could respect.
Yeah, doesn't she help, like, build the boat and gather the group? And
yeah.
I think she helps Einhard at one point.
She's the one in charge of building the boat.
Right. And if I remember correctly, your little brother, whose name I can't remember at the moment...
Riley,
he's the worst. Like, he just does nothing the entire time.
Well, I mean, the whole time he's kidnapped.
Yeah, but, like, when he gets back...
He's your damsel in distress.
Little brother is my damsel in distress.
I mean, that's an interesting inversion. Instead of having a female, you have the baby brother.
I guess, but, like, maybe it's because he was captured that I just cared so little about him. By the time I finally got him...
It's also because you don't see him, like, at all.
Yeah, it's like... There's no character development. Like, there's never a point where Jason monologues about his little brother and what he thinks about him. Like, it would have been better if he had, like, some backstories to explain their
or some flashbacks that you have had.
Yeah, like, explain the relationship. Are you friendly to each other? Did you get along growing up? Did you have a special story that made Jason feel more like a father figure or something like that? I don't know.
I'm done.
Fucking anything!
Or, like, some sort of friendly rivalry or something like that. That would also work. Anything! That's the problem, is that with these guys, they're really very one note, because you don't really get them developed at all, aside from that intro cutscene and the reactions in this location.
Yeah, like every time you bring someone back, they develop a little bit, but then you get like one phone call every few hours.
And then they're gone, and then they're basically gone from the story after that. Like, aside from Lisa, the other characters in your group of friends don't really talk to you at all. Like, Lisa is like the spokesperson for this group.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
I should point out that Far Cry 4 does this much better as far as developing side characters.
I have not played that, so I cannot make any comments one way or the other.
Much better. Just trust me on that one.
Although I plan to, at one point, play Far Cry 4.
It's a good Far Cry.
It's on my list of things I need to buy at some point.
Bacon Mint's pretty good.
I'll probably wait for it to go down in price like I did Far Cry 3 for a long time.
Well, you waited like what 2 years?
Well,
to play
I
Far
waited
Cry 3?
mostly because I kept forgetting to buy it.
Yep. It was kind of one of those things where it did kind of come and go too. Like it was like everybody gave it Game of the Year, and then it's kind of like, well, it's also a shooter, so there wasn't much to say about it beyond that.
Literally, Far Cry 4 was about to come out, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't played Far Cry 3 yet. I should probably get around to that at some point, so I bought it off Amazon.
Yeah.
And it came in 2 days, and I started playing it. And that's literally the story of why I played Far Cry 3.
And that's how we got here, because you finished it, and we're like, hey, we should.
And we started talking
about this.
about it, and then we wanted to talk more about it.
And we thought, whoa, what a great excuse to talk about it, but to play it while talking about it.
Yeah. And thus, Interactive Friction was born.
Hey, you
That's
found
right.
it. And since you're
Oh, right. It's not Lisa in charge of the boat. She is. It's just that Lisa helps her a lot.
Well, it's also that, like, Lisa's the one who calls you all the time, so Lisa's the one you remember.
Tell me again
Like,
why you were
Yeah,
I
like-
don't remember fucking
Again,
anybody else.
she's the spokesperson for your friends.
Yeah.
Are you done yet?
What's the blonde's name again?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Yeah.
I want to forget that as soon as this episode's over.
It's like with me and Riley, like, everybody remembers Lisa and, you know, Dennis or whatever, but nobody fucking remembers Riley or Daisy, and I don't think I remember your brother's name, Grant, at all. Because he just showed up and he's like, I was in the army once, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and then he just dies.
Yeah. And the
Right.
other guys, I'm drawing a complete blank towards their name because there's 2 other guys in your group.
There are?
Yeah.
No.
And I-
No, it's just the 3. It's the 2 girls and your brother, that's it.
No, there was the guy you saved from the fucking hitman dude that takes you on the Indiana Jones quest line.
Oh, you mean the other side characters, not like part of the getaway group, but the other characters you meet.
Yeah, it's like there are 2 other
Uh,
people in your group of friends, and I can't even fucking remember their names.
Was it Hoyt, the guy who's documenting
You
everything?
saved me.
No,
No.
he's the arch
I'm
villain.
here because of you.
Oh, right. Oh, fuck. What's the name of American CIA guy? I can't remember all of a sudden.
I find Riley.
Well, their names were not important, so you don't remember them, and
Right.
I completely forgot their names. I look it up, but I don't care that much.
We nearly
And we're gonna find out anyway just by playing the game again.
Lisa, I've got.
I want to say that the
Don't worry.
facial technology is not bad here, considering how close
Yeah.
up it is. Like, she doesn't... Like, it looks pretty realistic.
Careful.
And I do like her. She's like, dude, we almost died there. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, she is the grounded one. She's the one that's like, why would you go back out there? And yet his whole excuse is like, I gotta go save him. And it's like,
Like,
probably
one
other
thing
ways
was
to
the-
do that, bro.
You know, it'd be one thing if he was a reluctant hero, but he's like eager to keep going and keep fighting.
Which again would have
Like-
been a good story point later on if he started losing his grip on reality, but that
Yeah.
happened so soon in the game. Like, we're not even like a fourth of the way through, and he's already just going like, yeah, fuck it, let's just kill everybody.
Yeah, like if he was like the reluctant hero who gradually shifted into the psychotic asshole.
Lara Croft kind of did that better. With
Oh my
the-
god, that hair!
I know, right?
I just saw Jason's hair again, and it's like, oh my god.
Now it haunts your nightmares forever.
His mother looked at that and said, "That's okay."
Mm-hmm. His mother doesn't care. Come on.
His mother beat him as a child, and that's why he's such a dick.
That's why he just wants to shoot everybody, I'm sure. It's the only way he knows how to feel anymore. That's
You know,
pretty
that would
dark.
make more interesting characters than what we have now.
God, at least that'd be a fucking backstory! At least it explains something!
I mean,
Beyond,
'cause his
I don't know, I
backstory is
gotta go
literally, I'm a rich white kid with a blank check to spend all my parents' money. That's literally his entire character arc until he gets to the island.
It's not like this hasn't been done before as far as, like, you know, the hero who has to save his friends and will go to extreme lengths to do so. Again, fucking Tomb Raider did that. But at least in, like, Tomb Raider, she hunted a deer, she got cold in the rain, she had to go save her mentor, who said that she's
You know,
the only
Tomb
one who
Raider
can
has a
do
lot
it.
of the similar problems, but it felt more believable in Tomb Raider.
Well, Tomb Raider also had a lot of good cutscenes where, like, you know,
Yeah.
when you rescue your mentor, whose name escapes me at the moment,
Ross.
Ross, when you're sitting there and he's like, look, you're a Croft, you're gonna have to fucking do this because my leg is fucking broken. And he's
Yeah.
like,
Or
he's
the
basically
scene
just
where
telling her, you have to do this because no one else will. But nobody in Far Cry 3 says that.
and we gotta call it soon.
Right. I'm getting really angry at fucking Far Cry.
But I also remember the scene in Tomb Raider where he's like, "No, you know about loss. Sacrifice is when you make the choice. Loss is when it's chosen for you."
Right. God, I want to fucking play Tomb Raider now.
That's our
Oh.
next season. Is Tomb Raider.
I've played that game
It's-
twice now. I'd be willing to play it a third time. I was on my third playthrough.
I've played it a couple times actually.
That wouldn't be a
Yeah.
bad choice.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
They do a lot right in Tomb Raider. Like they do a couple things right in Far Cry 3, but
But Tomb Raider, I also feel like I like the shooting in it. I like the platforming.
I
like the
love how
characters.
lethal that game's combat is.
Yeah. It suits the game.
This
better.
is such a great game that we're commenting on a different game entirely.
It's kind of like because it does a similar story arc, but it does it better. And then it's kind of like, well, I
Yeah.
also kind of like the platforming better, and I kind of like the shooting better, and I kind of like the characters better. So why we're just playing Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
But if it was better, then we wouldn't be talking about it as much. Gotta have something to talk about.
Just this game does. I mean, again, this game plays very well. It's just that there's so many things it does wrong.
And both gameplay and story-wise, too. I don't think we've touched much on the gameplay problems, but there are plenty.
Well, we did touch on the fact that the towers don't save if you're in a mission.
Yeah, and the upgrade system is kind of sucks.
And we really need to call this, like, as soon as we get to this, whatever
Yeah, I
we're
was
doing.
just gonna wait until we got to the mission
Yeah.
start. That's where I like to call it, so it's easy to pick
Okay,
up.
that's a good idea.
Just kill some Komodo dragons. I think those are for explosive pouches?
I forgot what upgrade for them. I remember that I was like, I'm not using these Komodo dragon skins at all. I'm going to sell all 5 of the ones I have. Then I got an upgrade. The next thing it required was Komodo dragon skins. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if there was a way you could, like, this game almost
Like
needs like a
store it?
stash.
Yeah.
A stash. Like, where you could just store things away, like in your safe houses.
That would be very nice.
Like how in Fallout you get the house.
Oh
'Cause,
man,
you know-
Fallout 3, man.
Yeah.
That fucking house.
Your Megaton house.
Yeah, the Megaton, or whatever the high-rise was called.
No one chose Tenpenny.
No one on their first playthrough, anyway.
Yeah,
On the second
'cause-
one, I chose it because I just had to see what
Because
happened.
Tenpenny is an objectively worse house than Megaton's.
Really?
Yeah,
Even,
because
like, gameplay-wise?
yeah,
Oh. I never thought about
because Megaton's house is larger, gives you more space and more cabinets to sort your items with.
that. I didn't sort items.
Megaton also is only Megaton's house is also only 2 load screens away. Fast travel Megaton and then go into the house. Whereas in Tenpenny's, it's at least at a minimum 5 loading screens away.
Do you think I can make this jump?
No,
Guess I'll
I mean
fall.
even if you ignore the fact this game has sporadic at best fall damage.
Oh, this could be bad. This could be really bad. Fucking fall damage in this game.
But yeah, the Tenpenny house is just objectively worse for you gameplay wise than the Megaton house, just because you had to go through so many loading screens to get to it, and it's such a smaller place.
Yeah. Man, I remember the first time they demoed Fallout 3, it blew my mind.
Oh, I remember that E3 the demo they showed.
Yeah, they had E3 demo, and then, why can't I remember the guy's name? Who was the director of it?
Todd Howard.
Todd Howard. He did like a 5-part miniseries where he showed, you know,
Yeah.
that part of the mission.
The rocket launcher was the first thing they showed off, and the railway gun.
Yep. I remember that E3 specifically because they showed off Fallout, they showed off Resident Evil 5, and something else.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big E3 at the time.
We're
Oh!
almost 24 minutes in.
Oh, do you have a stopwatch now?
Yeah,
Oh, good. Just trying to get to
that's
the
how I knew when to call it.
It's probably like right next to the fast travel, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, no, it's safe house.
And we're sprinting. This is the game.
This is Far Cry.
This is the game.
They
We're
could-
sprinting.
Could do to sprinkle out a little more vehicles, guys. Maybe just like 1 or 2 more.
Or there's a lot of games like the flaunt that they have large open areas. That's not necessarily a good thing.
Nope.
I think this is a demonstration of why that is the case.
Yeah,
Because I mean, this is a large open area, but it's also filled with approximately nothing.
I want to say that Far Cry 2 had a bigger open world, which was kind of a problem. Because that was back in the time when everybody was just like, how big can we make it?
Like people
Doesn't matter.
don't want big open worlds; they want dense open worlds.
Yeah, that's why GTA 4 was cool. Because it was physically smaller, but there was a lot more stuff.
Yeah. They want to be able to like turn a corner and have at least have a couple things to do. Like, this is just a bunch of open space.
So we'll probably want to call it why I have to go climb this radio tower between episodes.
Yeah. So we're just gonna drive along
Drive
the
into
Mojave
the fade to
wasteland.
black.
Good night, guys, or morning or afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching this.
No, good night. Doesn't matter what time it is. Watch it at night.
Good night, Cleveland.
Bye, Ohio.